whiskey people.
Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
And I'm Kevin. Today we have a special treat. Today we are going to look at a new release from the Booker's line. This is the 2001 batch, so it's Granny's batch. They name each of the batches as they come out. They release one per quarter, so there's a year and then a 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is from the first quarter of this year. They named them after some of the family members that have been associated in the whole Beam history. The history goes back to 1795. I want to say that's right, where they've been, distilling and making whiskeys. During Prohibition,
They skirted town, though.
they bailed.
They went to Canada and Mexico to continue distilling their product until the Prohibition, the amendment repealed Prohibition.
Right.
So
Then they came back into America, got some financing, and built a distillery in something crazy like 120 days. Granny's batch actually is a nod to Margaret Beam No, I think is the name. I'm not totally certain on that one. That last name of No should sound somewhat familiar because her son is literally the guy who
Booker.
he started this line. His name is Booker. So Booker No was one of the master distillers for Jim Beam and a Beam descendant. And he actually ended up starting this line for the Jim Beam company. Overall, Jim Beam has, 30 plus people involved in distilling and master distilling. They're involved in multiple different
other brands,
companies,
yep.
other brands. Their lineage is kind of littered throughout all of the American
brand,
whiskey scene. Yep. Now, specifically to Booker's. Booker's is bottled at cask strength. It is uncut and unfiltered. This particular batch is 126.4 proof.
I'm ready.
63.2. Probably going to have a little bit of a ethanol note.
I'm already feeling the hug. The
hug.
Kentucky hug.
Well, no, can't do that. Got to pour yours first.
It's already warm in the nose.
The other interesting part is the way they select.
Yeah.
They are very selective. So this is from 6 different barrels in 4 different aging houses, different levels. They're very selective on what they're blending together and how they're blending it together.
Even the days.
Yeah, very specific.
4 years.
6 months and like 21
days.
It's
Yeah.
super specific as to what they're aging and how they're aging it. They have a system. That's a lot of peanut.
Yeah.
Are you getting a lot of peanut on that?
Yep. A lot of peanut. I mean, you get the ethanol, given that it's 126 proof.
But it's not overpowering ethanol. Obviously, it's gonna have legs. There's no question about that one. It's not overly dark for 6-year bourbon, so it's got a little age to it. Peanuts is the first note I'm getting, and now I'm getting a pretty strong cinnamon note.
Initial taste. The peanut carried in from the nose across the palate.
Now I'm getting really strong cinnamon.
There's the cinnamon on the taste as well. The burn's not bad though. For 126, it's a lot smoother than I was expecting.
Yeah. Ooh. I got a hug. Thank you for my hug. It's not overly. No, there's not an overburn. There's a burn. It's 126 proof. You're going to get some kind of a burn, but it's not overly burned. There is that dry peanut note that honestly always reminds me of Knob Creek. And then cinnamon is really the next big note that I get.
Yeah, I go back to the nose though. I still get the same. There's some, once you taste it, you pick something else up in the nose, but not much has changed. See,
the peanut has
dissipated a little bit.
The cinnamon and baking spices and the spice notes is what comes up. On the chew, again, it's all the spice. I get a lot of cinnamon and baking spices. The peanut has gone away, but there's a linger. There's a
The aftertaste.
yeah. What's that?
You caught me off guard on that sip.
Sorry. There's a finishing note there's a little sweetness there, like toffee. Is that what that is?
I still get the peanut on the aftertaste, but yeah, it's not a peanut brittle, but you got a little peanut, a toffee, or a caramel.
This is obviously at 126. The fact that they blended together 6 different barrels from 4 different rick houses and were so selective. Again, I want to always ask, I would love to ask a master distiller, I really need to go on a tour someplace. What were you going for? What were the notes? Mm-hmm. Why did you pick those barrels? What did they add to it? Super interested to learn all that kind of things. But you also have to think, this is going to be complicated. Like, it's a complex, multiple levels of notes that I'm sure you'll start to get, if you let it breathe a little, it'll probably taste a little like there'll be another note that pops out. A drop of water at 126 proof, it can stand up to a drop of water or a cube.
It's one of those, it kind of started off, because you're pulling, what is it, what they say, 6 different barrels?
6 barrels, yep.
6 barrels. It's almost like it's might have started off in a pseudo infinity bottle.
Kind of, yeah. That's a really good point. That's exactly what it is.
And
it's their own little infinity bottle for the quarter.
He pulled from this one, and
came up with a flavor that
the palate that
worked.
that he enjoyed, and decided to continue that on.
But I also have, which you guys can see in that. I've got 3 other bottles of different batches.
I'm looking forward to all those.
The notes are familiar, but they're not the same. Like, I don't remember a heavy peanut note in Country Ham, which is the one from 2019 third quarter.
What relative is that?
I don't know. I didn't do the research on that one. But I'd love to meet Country Ham. Like, that's just going to be a cool guy to hang out with.
This was good.
It's super good. It's very complex, and it's not, while I'm getting a very warm hug from this, it's not blowing me out of the water with how high the proof is. And I know they range. So their proofs will range anywhere from the, say, mid 120s. I think there was one that was as high as 134. So they will range their proofs based off of the aging, the barrel, the process, all that kind of stuff. But they're always going to sit there in a higher proof.
I do remember the Knob Creek that you referenced earlier. We had that.
Yeah.
Very
peanut.
Peanut.
Almost every time I drink Knob Creek bourbons, that's one of the first notes I get off of almost every time I drink Knob Creek. Similar to the Taylor that we've talked about previously, they come with, Booker's comes in a, there's a presentation. There's nothing spectacular or reason to this. It's marketing. It works. It stands out. Looks great on a shelf, in my opinion. Booker is sitting on the back of the box, so he's burn in there. It's just kind of it is a really good bottle to just sit up on the shelf and kind of, it's a good display case. There's a little card that comes in every single box with notes about the 6 different barrels and the rick houses, notes about the family history that go with it, and all those kind of things. So there's a little bit of, if you're kind of a whiskey nerd, like me, like Eric, we like to just kind of understand a little bit of the history and learn some. This is giving you a little something every bottle.
I love the backstories on the bottles.
They're great. They're so much fun to learn the history of how we got to what we're sampling today. There's so much history behind that bottle.
What was the MSRP on this bottle?
MSRP is $80. I struggle to find it for $80 in this region. Most of the time, it's $90.
I scored the one for 78.
Yeah,
But it wasn't from our area.
right. So yeah, that's basically the MSRP is right around that $80 mark. Or in our area, I tend, if I see it for 80 something, I'm buying it. It's worthwhile. It is definitely a great occasional drink at that price.
Very much so.
Oh, cinnamon. The cinnamon's just jumping out now.
No, this has been a delicious bottle.
Yeah, the whole lineup. Every time I've had Booker's, it's always, and that they also every year there's the one bottle that's the best of the year. Last year, the 2019, the 03, the Country Ham was supposed to be, it's the best. It's good. That's pretty good too. I'm going to say
different palate.
Absolutely. It's good. The 1903 was very good. It was better than the 04, which was beaten biscuits.
Get another one. Like,
what's the history there?
Love to meet that person.
Not sure what that history is. Didn't get into that one yet. This is really good. Really looking forward to the 2002.
Yeah. Well, apparently we got a few options up there.
We do.
So it's been a great episode. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun getting into the history here.
We appreciate you joining. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. If you did, we encourage you to hit the like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we post a new show.
And if you got a Booker's that you've enjoyed, we'd love for you to drop us a comment if we can track it down, or you want to send us a sample. We'd love to do that one on a future episode.
Yeah, I'd love to get into some of the historic ones.
Yep. Well, we appreciate you joining. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks very much for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers.